You're so cute. Hey, I'm Jasmine. This is Albie. Today we're going to be doing a embodied yoga flow. So yoga for embodiment. And what actually is embodiment? Well, simply it's landing in the body, getting out of the head, experiencing this world through the body. And I guess it's probably safe to say that a lot of the challenges we face as humans come from being out of the body, from being stuck in thoughts, from being in a kind of autopilot, dissociated state. So the whole point of embodiment really is to find meaningful ways to really feel this body that we exist in. And that can be hard for a number of different reasons. For example, because of trauma or physical health problems, it can feel not so safe to actually come to the body and to feel the body. So practices like yoga can specifically help us to do that in a way that does feel safe and that is gentle. So today we're going to start in a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you, whether it's with a cushion, kneeling on a bolster, however it feels best. You can also sit on a chair if you like. And we'll begin by closing the eyes if that's okay for you. You can always just take the gaze down the nose as well if you prefer to keep the eyes open. And begin to take a little rock forwards and backwards. So noticing what it's like to be slightly off center, a little too far forwards and a little too far backwards, a bit off balance. Then make those rocks smaller and smaller so that you can find a stable place to remain seated where you can lift up tall through the top of the head so the spine lengthens. You may find that it helps to lengthen the neck by slightly bringing the chin down towards the chest. And perhaps move your jaw around a little bit here, loosening off the jaw. You could also take a conscious yawn or take a deliberate swallow, bringing your awareness to the area of the mouth. And then let the mouth settle. Perhaps the lips part a little bit, maybe they stay together. And soften the muscles in the face, so you can do that by bringing your awareness to the point between the eyebrows. Notice where you might sometimes furrow or frown. Unconsciously invite a little bit of softness across the whole of the forehead. You can imagine this softness spreading across the left and the right side of the forehead from the very center between the eyebrows. And then let your shoulders soften a bit. Maybe you bring them forwards and back, a little bit of movement there to help them to relax. The elbows might feel quite heavy. And notice the hands. Where are your hands? What are they touching? Are they resting on the knees, in the lap? And now gently guide your awareness down to the points of contact between the body and whatever you're sitting on. Yoga mat, cushion, chair. How does your base of your body feel touching whatever it's touching? Can you feel the pull of gravity keeping you in one place? And notice now the texture of your clothes. How does the texture of your clothes feel? Are they tight? Are they fluffy, loose? And now I'd really like to invite you to welcome yourself to your practice with the same kind of friendliness and warmth that you might have for a loved one, whether that's your pet dog, a friend, a member of your family, whoever it might be, someone that makes you feel that sense of warmth and friendliness. And imagine you're physically welcoming yourself to your practice with this same sense of warmth and friendliness. You can actually picture yourself sitting here on your mat and picture yourself extending that friendliness to the image of you sitting down wherever you are right now in this moment. And you might even speak to yourself in a kind of exaggerated way internally, like, hey you, hey, like really speaking almost to yourself like you might speak to a child. Hey you, welcome. And you might let the corners of your mouth turn up into a smile as you practice this. And then you can blink your eyes open, take a little shake, and we'll pop the left foot forward. So let's begin by actually squeezing that foot. You can give it a squeeze from the toes to the heel, and then give it a little tap. And we'll do the same on the calf, on the shin, give it a squeeze, and then a tap. Maybe give the knee a little wibble, circle. And then squeeze the thighs and really feel how is that squeeze feeling? What kind of pressure do you want? You get to decide, your body. Then give taps, either really lightly or a little harder, whatever you like, your choice, to the hip. We'll do the same on the other side, squeeze in the foot to begin with. How does it feel when you squeeze the foot? Then give it some little taps. And same up the lower leg, little squeezes and taps. What's the difference between the squeeze and the tap? Make mental notes about the sensation you're experiencing. A little circle of the knee, squeezing the thigh, like hugging the muscle into the bone. And then some taps on the hip too. And you can give your belly a little circle. And notice, how does it feel inside your belly, beneath the skin that you're touching? What kind of sensations are in your belly right now? Give it a little tap. And then tap your chest. How does that feel? You can squeeze one hand, squeeze up the arm, little shoulder rub, and then give taps. Same on the other side, squeezes, squeezes, shoulder rub, and taps. And now let's do the face. So you can rub your face out from the nose, across the cheeks, across the eyebrows, the forehead. Maybe a little jaw massage. How does your jaw feel? Is it sensitive when you press at the jaw? And then little tiny taps across the face. What's that like? And you can end by giving your scalp a bit of a squish. Maybe even like pull your hair a little bit. What's that like? And then shake it all off. And we're going to start with circles. So you can do this on a chair, you can do it cross-legged. Let's start to bring the breath in. So let's inhale to swoop forward And exhale to lean back. You might engage your core a little bit as you exhale and lean back. Inhale, swoop forward. Exhale, round and back. And then just find your own free movement here. You might not want to make an exact circle. You might want to go forwards and back and round and whatever. Just perhaps close your eyes and experience how the body feels as it does this. Notice each sensation that comes up and where it comes up. Is it in the hips, the back, the shoulders? And when you're ready, let's come into all fours position, or also known as tabletop. And we're going to make circles again here. So no right or wrong way. It can be nice to keep the eyes closed once again as well, to really tune into the sensations that come up in the body. Take your circles round the other way. And come back to all fours. Start to spread your fingers. I really notice the connection between the hands and the mat. So you kind of push the ground here as you pull the belly up and drop the head. From there, soften the elbows, drop the belly, inhale to look forward, chest comes forward. Exhale, start to push the ground, hug the belly up and drop the head. Inhale, take the gaze forward, soften the elbows, tailbone up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, feel the shoulder blades spread across the upper back. And then find your own way through these cat-cows. Perhaps asking your body, is there any way that you want to move? And maybe the cat-cows end up down into child's pose, forward. Allow your body to respond in movement however she or he or they likes to. Okay, great. Let's come back to our tabletop position. And then kick the left foot back and rise it up in the air. So you might notice here the body wants to veer off to one side. So let's push down equally through both hands. Push down through the back knee. Kind of hug the lower belly up a little bit. And squeeze the left glute ever so slightly. From here, inhale to rise that leg all the way up. Exhale to cross it behind the back leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. Inhale up, take it out to the left as you exhale down. Inhale up, exhale just behind you. And keep going, always inhaling up, exhaling down. It's like you're drawing a big M. Gonna do one more all the way up to the side. And then bring that knee back down. Shake the hips from side to side. You can take the gaze to the left, to the right, like a dog wagging its tail. And then right toes back, right leg in the sky. You might veer off to the left here, so Check that everything's hugging into the central line. Push the ground. Hug the lower belly in. Squeeze the right glute ever so slightly. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, cross it over to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, down to the floor. Inhale, up. Take it out to the right as you exhale. Inhale, up. Exhale, center. Inhale, up. Exhale to the side. And now follow your own rhythm of breath. Do one more tap out to the right side. Back to the middle, lift the leg and lower it back down. Big toes together, knees as wide as the mat. Have a little shimmy from side to side so that you can melt your chest down to the floor and your head to the mat. If your head doesn't come to the mat, you can stack like a pillow or a block or something here for your head, or you can stack fists on top of each other and rest your forehead on your fists. So wherever you're at, come back to the breath here. And what I mean when I say that is feel it physically. So as you inhale, can you sense the breath traveling down into the belly? It balloons out. And as you exhale, you might feel the belly kind of drawing back a little bit, and that sense of emptying and that sense of release with the exhale. As you're here in child's pose as well, you can intentionally breathe all the way into any sticky parts between the shoulder blades. So you feel your upper back puff out on the inhale, and you allow the exhale to carry tension away, as though you can tangibly let go of that tension with the out breath. When you're ready, roll all the way up to all fours again. And step your hands a little bit further forward than they were before. Spread your 10 fingers. You can kind of almost like imagine you're really pushing down through the fingertips as well as the rest of the edges of the hands. Tuck the toes and start to push the ground so much so that the knees lift, and the knees will hover about an inch off the floor. Keep the back of the neck long by gazing down at the mat ahead of the hands. Keep pushing the ground. Feel a sense of core engagement here, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, halfway there, 3, 2, inhale, 1, exhale, lower. Come to kneeling and circle out your hands. How do your wrists feel after that? And circle the other way. Then give your hands a shake. Walk the hands forward again, tuck the toes, push the ground. Start to reach the hips up and back, squeeze the belly to the thighs for our first downward dog. You can pedal out the feet here. So that's bending one knee and then the other. Of course, feel free to add any other movement that your body might be wanting to explore. Then settle to stillness in your down dog. Take an inhale through the nose and a big sigh out the mouth. Twice more. Inhale through the nose.
Big sigh out the mouth. And again, inhale through the nose, big sigh out the mouth. Walk the feet to the middle of the mat or to the top so that you can come into a ragdoll. You can bend your knees as much as you want to be able to feel your head really hang loose. And from there, take hold of opposite elbows or leave the arms dangling on the floor. Now you might move from side to side a little bit here. Really let the head drop, let it go. Then rock the weight forwards and backwards a little bit so you feel it more in your heels and then more in the balls of your feet. Then notice if that changes the sensation in the back of the legs. It may or it may not. Again, making small observations about the body. If you can hear banging, it's my dog's tail wagging. You having fun there, Albie? From there, we'll take the hands to the shins. Keep a soft bend in the knees as you lift the chest, gaze down at the mat, draw the shoulders back, halfway lift. Take a few breaths here. Reach the arms by the side, the palms facing down. Start to hinge from the hips. Keep the back long as you lift the chest. Squeeze the glutes a little bit at the top. And then give everything a shake out. Okay, now we're going to imagine we've got little bits of water on our, whoa, I'm falling. Little bits of water on our skin. So you can start from the top. You don't have to go down into squat. I'm just doing that because I don't know if the frame can actually see me when I stand up or not. So you can do this standing. Imagine you've got droplets of water on your forehead and you're sweeping them off. Same with the top of your head and the cheeks, the neck. So like you've just come out the shower and you want to get the droplets of water off before you dry with the towel. Chest, upper back, sides, belly, lower back, hips, thighs, little bits off the toes and the feet, and then give everything a shake to get the final bits off. My dog's looking at me like, what are you doing? And then we'll come back down to seated, and we could do a whole practice all like that for another hour, but I really just wanted to give you a small taster, something that's kind of bite-sized that can fit into any day. So if you made it this far, well done. This is a good kind of practice like this, are good ones to do when you need to land, when you're feeling quite stuck up here in the head, or just, like I said, in that kind of autopilot mode, because sometimes we can do our yoga practice, yeah, we did like an hour of the primary Ashtanga series or whatever, but sometimes we're still not necessarily fully there, fully in it. So I really hope that this helped you to land a little bit in the body. We'll end with a grounding moment, just similar to how we began, so that you can come full circle. So find a comfortable position lying on your backs this time. The most important yoga posture, Shavasana. Are you going to join me for Shavasana? So find a comfortable lying down position. You can always bring like a cushion or a bolster under your knees if you like, or stack your feet up on a chair if that's comfortable. Do what you need to do to make sure you're going to be able to relax as fully as possible. Nice and warm, maybe a snuggly blanket. And then get any wiggles out of your system before we resolve to come into stillness. So perhaps circling the hands, wiggling the shoulders, moving the mouth around. And when you're ready, allow the eyes to gently close or gaze up at a fixed point on the ceiling if that's more comfortable for you. Arms can be wherever you want them. Traditionally in Shavasana, they're by the sides, palms facing up, but you might also want to put them on your belly so that you can feel the rise and fall of the navel with your breath. Bring the awareness to the mouth. Maybe taking a deliberate yawn again, or a swallow, or moving the jaw from side to side. Let the mouth settle and relax. Draw the focus to the point between the eyebrows and consciously relax across the forehead. And feel where the back of your head makes contact with the place that you're resting. Notice the heaviness of the head, like you really let the weight of the head go. And this helps to relax the neck, the shoulders. Feel the arms relax. And extend your awareness to all the parts of the body that are touching something. So whether you're stretched out on the floor, touching the floor, or whether your legs are stacked on a pillow, feel the quality of what you are touching. So is the ground hard? Is the floor hard? Is the cushion soft? And start to notice other parts of what you're touching. So how is the texture of your clothes and your skin? Can you feel the weight of a blanket or a duvet? Are your feet flopping out to the side, toes pointing out? And gently guide your awareness to the belly now. Are there any sensations in the belly that you can notice? It may or may not help to name them. Perhaps bubbling or sticky. And take a deep full breath into your belly. So you feel the whole belly inflate with air on the inhale and let it go on the exhale. At this point, you're free to pause the video and carry on with your Shavasana. If you've got the time, then it's great to make it as long as you can. If you've got stuff to be getting on with, then you could start to wiggle the fingers, the toes, and do anything that you want to do to kind of stretch and wake back up here. Eventually you'll hug the knees in towards the chest and roll to one side so you can curl up in a little ball, and let's stay here for a few moments on the side. Really noticing the stable foundations of the ground that you're lying on. And then use your hands to push down on that strong, stable ground and gently bring yourself up back to a seated position.
Growing up tall through the top of the head. Bringing the palms to heart center. Bowing the head in honor of your practice and in gratitude to your body, the body that allows us to experience all the peaks and dips of life. The heart that keeps beating, the breath that keeps being breathed. And when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open and get ready to head out into whatever you're doing now. Thank you for joining me. Have a really good day. Ciao.